What up, world? Your boy L Boogie Razzle checking in one time. So, what's going on, guys? It's about that time. Dorian has become a category correction. Dorian has become a hurricane. Um, so let's just get straight to the models and then take a look at what's going on out here and what we can expect here in the next couple of days. So it looks like Dorian's already making this pass by um, its pass by Puerto Rico. So at this point, we're just gonna look at what it's doing now and then what it's potential for the future. All right. So right now we're utilizing the GFS, most commonly used model for storm tracking and weather tracking and whatnot. Give this a moment to load up. I believe they're experiencing high traffic right now, which is obvious. So we're gonna jump to a different map right now. We're gonna check Windy out, see what Windy's talking about. Um, Here we have a good view of Windy. We're gonna jump this up to about Saturday and just get an idea for what that path may start to look like coming into Orlando, or coming into Florida rather. Providing that this scrapes by this weekend with minimal contact to this island region here, I believe it's gonna survive Puerto Rico. I think initially they were saying that it might, thread the needle, but it looks like it's passed to the east of Puerto Rico. If we go a little further ahead, it really starts to come together. It's been my prediction, if you will, that once it got past the islands, uh, Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, that it would strengthen and intensify. So I initially had it. I didn't want to speak too soon, but amongst my, those listening, I would mention that it was, a 2 to 4, and right now I think they have it pegged at a 3. So just gonna move forward, bring it back to Saturday, and then come up on Sunday. I believe we talk about making landfall here in Florida. And here's the thing. What happens next is what the models are starting to come together on. Initially, it was this push that it can go towards the west, there was two separate outcomes. It either would roll over Florida into the Gulf, or it would go up the East Coast. Now, at this point, if these models remain the same coming into Sunday, I think that I would agree with it being pushed to the west because of the amount of high pressure over here, low pressure over here, low pressure winds. I think it's going to get pushed right across Florida. Question is, what starts to happen once it hits the Gulf? What's it going to be when it gets to Florida? So there are a lot of factors right now still at play. The chances of it dying down, I believe those chances are over. I am confident at this point we do have ourselves a major hurricane headed towards Florida. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on it. Also have a view. This is the current view of Hurricane Dorian making its way to the east coast of Florida. See if we get a little better image here. Yeah, it's still trying to organize, you see. This is lack of organization, but I believe the later it gets, you'll probably see that eye wall forming. And this is going to wrap around. As we get past these islands here and it gets back out to the ocean, this eye is going to wrap around this wall. Moisture wall will become more defined. Now we take a look at the water vapor. This all will improve. Visible radar, that's what we saw before. And then we'll come back here and look at geocolor. Yeah, so that's a beautiful shot there of this hurricane. It will be a force to be reckoned with. It has nothing but time to grow and improve. So here we are at our models back at tropicaltidbits.com. I do want to make you aware of this though. So here's Dorian. It's gonna pop back up. It should be resetting here in a moment as we get through the month of the first second week of September. This gives us pretty far out view, but here we are, the 29th. So here's Dorian tracking low, tracking. I believe it will go into the Gulf or deviate. Depends on what this high system does. If this lets up early enough, see that high pressure popping there, I think it's going to push it right over. But we do have another system popping up right here. Oh, that looks like that one fired straight north. So that one was a dud. But we also have multiple other waves coming off the coast of Africa. So right now, our main watch is on Dorian. Again, hurricane season is although we're pretty much getting into peak season, mid season. I believe as far as activity, we are just getting started. So as you say in the military, stay alert, stay alive. You know, don't forget to plan. Have yourself an evacuation plan. Don't wait till it's too late. Stock up. Now's the time to get this stuff done, folks. Okay? Really want to be ahead of this before it gets crazy, all right? So again, we'll just let this ride out. And there's Dorian. What happens next? What happens next is anybody's guess. Some models were showing a north-northeast turn, and then others were showing it rolling over Florida. Either way, I mean, look at it once it gets into, the southern U.S. This thing, it's gonna bring some rain. It's gonna bring some wind. But how bad? A little too soon to tell right now. All I can say is, let's keep an eye on it. Let's also take note of where the millibars go. So they drop into the 960, I think, at the lowest. There is a lot of time once it gets to this point. Once it gets to this region here, is going to be that main window of growth or where it can improve. So we're talking about. It keeps doing that. So yeah, this region is where it's gonna be make or break. Before I go, I do want to take a look at another model. Let's take it NavGem, see what they're talking about. Looks like they are in agreement with that path as of right now. Let's see. NavGem shows it coming in across a little further to the south, but still turning north-northeast. Let's check a look at Legacy. Again, Legacy shows it coming right over Florida and taking a nice squat right over Orlando. Okay, so again, guys, we're going to be watching this for the next days to come. Keep an eye on things. We'll let you know how it goes. I'm going to keep my eye on it, as well as keeping an eye on what's going on in the rest of the tropics, just because it is that time and it is about to go down. So I would encourage you guys to stay alert. Do yourselves a favor and prepare ahead of time. Alright? It's your boy L Boogie Brazzle getting out of here, guys. I really do hope this content is beneficial to you. I am not an expert. I do not know everything there is to know about weather and things of that nature. But I know what I know, and I try to get that information out for those that want it, need it, or just curious about what's going on. So, guys, take care of yourselves out there. God bless you. And we'll be back with more on this one.